Nigel Farage's sharp rebuttal to Kemi Badenoch's accusations on GB News exposed her desperation and the Conservatives' declining grip on relevance. Her claim that Reform UK's membership tracker was fake fell apart under Farage's methodical takedown, highlighting her lack of understanding and preparedness. Farage's confidence, bolstered by verified data and his mastery of digital platforms, stood in stark contrast to Badenoch's baseless attacks. This clash not only embarrassed Badenoch, but also underscored the Conservative Party's deeper failures. In trying to discredit Farage, she inadvertently spotlighted her own party's weaknesses and his rising influence. Have a watch.
Nigel, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and congratulations, you have overtaken the Tory party, or have you?
Well, I mean, the idea that the leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition is accusing me of fraud is absolutely disgusting. She may be used to being in a party that lies to the British public. We are not. We put that digital tracker up a few days ago, showing every single person that goes online, gives us their postcode and pays us £25. Even since we went through that number yesterday morning, the numbers are rocketing. We're another 5,000 or 6,000 higher than we were. We went past the Conservative Party, and I know that Kemi Badenoch is well known for her aggression and for lashing out, but to accuse me of not understanding the digital age when I've got 5.5 million followers on social media and she's got fewer than a third of a million, frankly, was a bit rich. I'm sorry, but the truth is there is a massive, as Cameron hinted a moment ago, the truth is there is a very big shift that is going on in British politics.
So, Nigel, what do you say to Kemi's allegation that it's a fake because of the back of the website, the coding on the back of the website or something has been ticking up the members artificially?
Well, she calls herself an engineer. Let me tell you, she's not even in the same league as our chairman, Zia Youssef, who has made vast amounts of money on tech and through digital media. And we have had our work confirmed by several independent sources overnight. If the Conservative Party want us to call in one of the big four auditors to check the validity of our numbers against the ballot papers that were sent out of the leadership contest, thousands of which went to lapsed Conservative members and those that had resigned earlier this year, I think if the truth came out, she'd be very, very embarrassed indeed. I don't mind all sorts of comments being made about me, but to be accused by her of being a fraudster, I'm sorry, I'm not going to let this rest.
Nigel Farage's response to Kemi Badenoch's accusations during his GB News interview is a damning critique of her recklessness and lack of competence in handling political discourse. Badenoch's unfounded claim that Reform UK's membership tracker is fake reveals her desperation and inability to confront the reality of her party's declining relevance. Rather than addressing the deeper issue of why Reform UK is overtaking the Conservatives, Badenoch resorted to baseless accusations, exposing both her insecurity and lack of credibility as a political leader. Farage's dismantling of Badenoch's claims was both methodical and brutal. He pointed out the transparency of Reform UK's digital tracker, which records every individual membership sign-up, complete with postcodes and verified payments. This completely invalidates Badenoch's insinuations of fraud or manipulation. Her accusations show not just a misunderstanding of how such systems operate, but also a lack of basic due diligence before making public allegations. Farage's reference to Reform UK's chairman, Zia Youssef, a tech expert with significant achievements in digital media, only amplifies Badenoch's humiliation, contrasting her empty rhetoric with Reform UK's demonstrable expertise. Farage's critique extended to Badenoch's claim that he doesn't understand the digital age. The irony of this statement, coming from a politician with fewer than a third of Farage's 5.5 million social media followers, is staggering. Farage's mastery of digital platforms has been central to his political success, while Badenoch's reach appears limited and outdated by comparison. Her comment not only fails to land, but backfires spectacularly, reinforcing her image as a figure unable to grasp the realities of modern political communication. More significantly, Badenoch's accusations reflect a broader failure to acknowledge the growing dissatisfaction with the Conservative Party. Reform UK's rise is not an anomaly. It is a direct response to the failures of the Tory leadership to address voter concerns. Instead of confronting this reality and seeking solutions, Badenoch's knee-jerk reaction has been to lash out at her political opponents, making her appear defensive and detached. Farage's offer to involve independent auditors to verify Reform UK's membership numbers further underscores his confidence and contrasts sharply with Badenoch's unfounded and evasive approach. Farage's calm yet cutting response to Badenoch's aggression reveals her inadequacies as a leader. By attempting to smear Farage with baseless accusations, she inadvertently highlights her own inability to navigate the challenges facing her party. Her lack of focus on substantive issues and reliance on petty attacks show a leader out of her depth, incapable of inspiring trust or delivering meaningful solutions. Farage's insistence that he will not let her accusations rest is a direct challenge to Badenoch's credibility, one that she appears ill-equipped to meet. In the end, Badenoch's desperate attempt to discredit Farage has only deepened her embarrassment and further exposed the weaknesses of the Conservative Party. Her inability to handle criticism constructively or address the root causes of her party's decline reflects a broader failure of leadership. Farage, on the other hand, emerges from this exchange as a confident and composed political challenger, ready to capitalize on the Tories' missteps. Badenoch's clumsy and ill-informed attack has done nothing but confirm the Conservative Party's diminishing relevance and her role in its ongoing decline.
Our right are a reaction to fear, to discomfort, to unease that is out there shared by tens of millions of people. What you've seen on the streets of Hartlepool, of London, of Southport is nothing to what could happen over the course of the next few weeks.
I felt a deep sense of pride here in the United Kingdom when, in response to anger and lawlessness in several towns this summer, communities came together, not to repeat these behaviors, but to repair. To repair not just buildings, but relationships. And, most importantly, to repair trust by listening and, through understanding, deciding how to act for the good of all.
Nigel Farage and King Charles III offer contrasting yet interconnected perspectives on the social and political unrest that has gripped parts of the United Kingdom. Farage's statement frames the tensions as a reaction to widespread fear, discomfort, and unease, sentiments he claims are shared by tens of millions of people. His tone is ominous, warning that the incidents seen in Hartlepool, London, and Southport could pale in comparison to what might unfold in the coming week. Farage's rhetoric speaks to a sense of foreboding, emphasizing the scale of dissatisfaction and the potential for further upheaval if underlying grievances are not addressed. His focus on the scale and intensity of unrest reflects a call for urgent action, but also risks amplifying fear rather than fostering solutions. In contrast, King Charles offers a more hopeful and constructive narrative, emphasizing the resilience and unity of communities in the face of such challenges. He reflects on how, rather than succumbing to the anger and lawlessness that marked several towns during the summer, communities chose to repair not just physical structures, but also fractured relationships and, crucially, trust. His words highlight the power of listening, understanding, and collective action for the common good. This perspective underscores a belief in the enduring strength of shared values and the ability of society to heal and rebuild through empathy and cooperation. The juxtaposition of these two statements presents a broader commentary on the state of the nation and the potential pathways forward. Farage's warning is a reminder of the urgency and depth of discontent that cannot be ignored. His acknowledgement of fear and unease reflects the reality of many who feel alienated or left behind. However, his message, rooted in highlighting the scale of unrest, lacks the constructive framework necessary for resolution. In contrast, King Charles shifts the focus from the problem to the solution, advocating for unity, understanding, and the rebuilding of trust as essential steps toward progress. Together, these perspectives underscore the dual challenges facing the United Kingdom: addressing the immediate causes of unrest and fostering a vision of hope and reconciliation. Farage's message resonates with those who feel their fears and frustrations are often dismissed, while King Charles provides a vision of how those fears can be alleviated through collective action and mutual respect. The synthesis of these approaches could offer a more comprehensive response to the current turmoil, blending the urgency of Farage's warnings with the optimism and practical solutions championed by King Charles. Ultimately, the nation's ability to navigate these turbulent times will depend on balancing the recognition of discontent with a commitment to repair and rebuild for the good of all. Thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts or opinions, feel free to share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and join us on Telegram for exclusive content and discussions. Your support means a lot.